President Trump slamming Senator John McCain for opposing efforts to repeal Obamacare. Earlier, I spoke with the author of Understanding Trump, former Speaker of the House, Fox News contributor Newt Gingrich. He also has a new online course called Defending America. I asked the speaker about the repeal and if Jeff Sessions will ever indict anyone from the Obama administration. Take a look. Mr. Speaker, thanks so much for being with us tonight.
It's always great to be with you.
Thank you. All right. Now, the president had an almost what seems to me to be a perfect week. On the one hand, it seemed that the world is coming together against Kim Jong-un. And now, domestically, though, we've got health care, we've got tax reform, and we can't even get the Republican Party to support this president. We find out yesterday that John McCain is not going to support it. Does Mitch McConnell still put the bill on the floor? What happens now? You've been there. What do you need to do to get those votes?
Well, I think he's got a real challenge because Rand Paul has said he would be against it.
Right.
I suspect, although I don't know, that Susan Collins may be against it because she's pretty consistently voted that way.
Right.
I think they had a fair chance of getting Senator Mikulski to vote yes. And frankly, if Rand Paul then switched, they'd be okay. But they can't afford to lose all four of them. And it's a huge problem. And Senator McCain, I think there was some hope because he's so close to Lindsey Graham that he might vote for it as a personal favorite of Lindsey. Obviously, that's not true. And I think, if you're McConnell, you probably don't bring it up, but you might bring it up just to put everybody on the line and to say, look, you have to live with this. We're going to make one last rush at it. And I do think as you watch Obamacare collapsing, the rising premiums, the number of counties that have no insurance company or only one, it's harder and harder to make a case for keeping Obamacare.
Well, yeah, as the markets continue to skyrocket, it's going to be a problem. And one last question. We find out this past week, Samantha Powers, she's unmasking one a day, a working day. Unheard of in someone who's a UN ambassador. What we have in the Obama administration, you've got an FBI director exonerating Hillary Clinton. You've got the attorney general, violating all ethics rules. You've got Lois Lerner going after Republicans. What do we have to do to get not the House and the Senate to start investigations, but Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General, to start impaneling grand juries to go after real crime in the Obama administration?
Well, I think, he did not recuse himself on anything except the Russian investigation. So I think on all of these things, for example, on Ambassador Powers, which is just absolutely extraordinary. I mean, why does the UN ambassador have the right? What was her reasoning? What was she trying to get at? I think those are places where there's nothing to stop Attorney General Sessions from impaneling both prosecutors and the FBI and going after these people. And clearly, there should be a fairly large amount of house cleaning at the Justice Department. I hope that Sessions will decide to tackle it. I know he got a little bit burned early on in his relationship with Trump, but this is now so clearly wrong. And I'm not a lawyer, you are, but I'm not a lawyer, but as a historian, I can't imagine that you would need any more evidence of how sick the system had become. And I do think the Justice Department should investigate it.
Well, being a lawyer, a judge, a prosecutor, whatever I am, the facts are eminently clear. You've got the Clinton Foundation, you've got the email scandal, you've got Jim Comey. I think obstruction of justice on his own, perjury, conspiracy, a violation of the Hatch Act. I could go on and on. It's time for the Republicans to start doing their job. I'm not asking you to go against Democrats because they're Democrats, but to go against real crime. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, why is she protecting that Imran Awan? What was that about? Let's get to the bottom of this.
Oh, you're exactly right. And frankly, that scandal in the House, which had a very large number of Democrats paying these Pakistani information technology guys, that whole thing is so weird. Now